Coach Pete Richardson Show, hosted by Clarence Buggs and Southern University head football coach Pete Richardson. Brought to you by Coca-Cola, Max Acadian Furniture, Tops Unlimited, Acadian True Value Hardware, Duplessis Cadillac Volvo, the Louisiana Lottery, Agnes Andrews Allstate Insurance, Baton Rouge Metro Airport, and McDonald's.
McDonald's has some unbelievable values, like the McRib Jr. for just 99 cents. A 99-cent McRib Jr. made hot, fresh, and right to order just for you.
McDonald's, we love to see you smile.
Cal Ripken joins the 3,000 hit club.
Run number 400 for Cal Ripken. Runs third is Dan. Waves him home.
You've been second in team record.
Baseball's still iron.
Dad? Dad? Ready to go?
Yeah.
At McDonald's, we know what makes you smile, like our great tasting Mighty Wings. A great taste available with ranch or Louisiana hot sauce for dipping. Doesn't that make you smile?
At McDonald's, we love to see you smile.
Hello and welcome once again to the Coach Pete Richardson Show. We come to you from De London's Restaurant, 4748 Airline Highway. Coach, needless to say, the team played this past weekend like they were glad to get back to business.
Well, it was a big win for us last week. I thought the players played well throughout the whole game.
Speaking of getting back to business, let's go straight to the highlights from the Gulf Coast Classic, the Jaguars of Southern University and the Hornets of Alabama State. We pick up first half highlights on our very first possession. Terrence Levy finds Lionel Joseph for 21 yards, Coach.
It was a down and out play, and I think Larry, he sprinted out and hit him on the run and went out of bounds.
8 plays later, Devin Lewis picks up 13.
I think that we had a chemistry start to develop with our wide receivers, and the decision-making was fine.
Very next play, a couple on the ground for Terrence Levy.
Well, we started a little option play to the outside, and he cut it up inside.
Unfortunately, we missed the field goal attempt from 31 yards out from Francisco Villagrano, and we move now to our second possession. Begging your pardon, this is the block punt. David Beckford is picked up by Kevin Moffitt.
I think, we had been working on it all weekend, and we saw we had an opportunity and did a good job of doing it.
3 plays later, Jeremy Williams for 2. Good night for Jeremy, Coach.
Well, he came in, he's starting to develop that confidence he needs, and I think being on a dry field helped him out.
Devin Lewis right there, an 11-yard completion from Terrence.
Devin is having a fine year, and of course he's developing to the favorite receiver.
Terrence Levy drives us down. Francisco Villagrano this time is good from 28 out, and we're up 3-zip. ASU's next possession, Darnell Kennedy comes in, and Chris Coleman picks up the 7-yard completion.
Well, we heard that he was going to be playing. He's an exciting player, had an opportunity to get out and completed his first pass.
Very next play, DeRocher Miller from Kennedy for a 9-yard completion.
Well, Kennedy sprinted out to the left side and hit Miller on that little out pattern, and I think gained him up on the defense.
Defense rises to the occasion. 3 plays later, they have to punt, and Ezra Landry a good 18-yard return.
Well, he's doing a fine job on the punt return from, I think we're doing also a good job as far as blocking up front.
2 plays into the drive, it's Jeremy Williams, again, a good night, 5 yards on this run.
Well, we're starting to get some confidence in that running game, and I think Jeremy's getting the confidence that he needs.
Very next play, Jeremy again. This time he picks up 10 yards.
Well, I think the offensive line is starting to develop that confidence also, so we have to get that running game started.
Not to be redundant, Jeremy Williams again for 4.
Well, if they're coming inside and they're doing a fine job, and all of a sudden that center got hurt, and we had to bring in a substitute, and got snapped over his head.
And obviously there, the trouble with the snap. You see the fumble recovered by Alabama State. 2 plays later, Chris Coleman picks up 1 yard from Darnell Kennedy.
I think our defense beginning to stiffen. Each game they go out, I can see the confidence, and we're making some mistakes, but they're aggressive mistakes.
Speaking of them rising to the occasion, again, another loss, this time for 2 yards.
Well, we went after the interception, and all of a sudden they dropped back the pass. He threw it up, and the pressure with that defensive line helped us out a great deal.
Our next possession, we keep it 7 plays, and then Francisco has to punt.
Well, the punting is very inconsistent at the present time. It's one of our main concerns with our football team.
Defense here again rising to the occasion, 3-yard loss on Kennedy.
Well, we knew that they were trying to get to the flank with Kennan because he's a great running back and has fine skills.
We get it right back. Jeremy Williams back to work, a pickup of 13.
Well, as the game went on, you can see we started to develop the confidence in that running game, so it opened up the passing game for us.
Unfortunately, they capitalized on the tip drill, come up with the pick.
Well, what happened is that the ball got popped up in the air, and unfortunately, they came down with it.
Turnabout is fair play, however. Lenny Williams, good night, and here a great pick defensively.
Well, Lenny goes up. He's having a good year also. I think that's his second interception in the year. He came down inbounds, took it away from the receiver.
After that incompletion, second play of the drive, Jeremy Williams goes right back to work, picks up 18 on this carry.
Well, we knew if we can get our running game working up front that it could open up our passing game, and he's getting that confidence every time he begins to run with the football.
Speaking of confidence, you see it here. He comes right back and picks up 15 more.
I think that offensive line is starting to do a fine job. Plus, Alabama State at the time was getting a little tired on defense.
Unfortunately, we could not capitalize, had to relinquish possession. ASU's sixth possession, Kennard Williams, an incompletion.
Well, we got him trapped, and all of a sudden he found and worked himself out of it, and they had to punt.
2 plays later, speaking of that punt, here's Ezra Williams for 19 yards.
Well, I think that, the fans is trying to finally getting the confidence we need. They're getting the block, and I think the more we do it, the better he's going to get.
We watch right here as Jeremy Williams picks up 1 yard on this rush, and that will lead to the very next play, the 22-yard completion to Devin Lewis.
Well, it was one of our screen passes we used. They were stunting down inside. We ran the screen, and he came underneath for that score.
Point after was no good, and the half ended to the tune of 9-0. When we come back, we'll pick up second half highlights. Stay with us.
Maxicated Furniture is having the biggest sale ever. During the sale, when you purchase that 2, 3, 4-piece living room set, Maxicated Furniture is going to give you a coffee table set free. Everybody needs a coffee table set with their living room set, so now is definitely the time to purchase that brand new living room set or take advantage of specials throughout the whole store on bedroom sets, dinettes, appliances, and TVs, and much, much more. And with same-day delivery and the guaranteed fastest credit approval, Maxicated Furniture is your store for all your furniture and appliance needs. Call the credit hotline at 356-5591.
Wouldn't you love a sunroof in your car? How about a simulated convertible top or rich supple leather seats? Maybe a television entertainment system for those road trips. Tops Unlimited is the only name to know for automotive aftermarket accessories. Custom grills, ground effects and rear spoilers, wood grain dash kits, convertible top replacement, and more. It's all available at Tops Unlimited, serving Baton Rouge for over 18 years. Located at 11311 Cedar Park Avenue off Segan Lane. Our business is Tops.
Hey, Louisiana, this is Bob Eubanks. Here's a list of just some of the Powerball Game Show all-cash winners from your area. And you can be a winner, too, but it all starts with this.
The Powerball Game Show $2 scratch-off. You may win up to $20,000 instantly, or a chance to win $1 million on our show in Hollywood, or win thousands of dollars sitting at home watching Powerball the Game Show. Buy your Powerball the Game Show scratch-off tickets today.
And I'll look for you in Hollywood.
Welcome back to the Coach Pete Richardson Show. We come to you again from De London's restaurant, 4748 Airline Highway. Coach, obviously the team came in fired up, good performance first half, and it looks like they just turned it up a notch in the second half.
Well, we knew we was going against a good football team. Alabama State, on film, they had some excellent personnel. Also, we had a good week of practice. They were focused, and I think as the week went on, I could see the intensity. And then all of a sudden, we knew we had to get off to a good start, and I think they did.
Well, without any further ado, let's go straight into second half highlights from the Gulf Coast Classic. We obviously were up ahead as the band celebrated, and then we pick up action in the first possession for Alabama State, nearly come up with the turnover, Coach.
Well, I thought that the defense was really flying around to the football, and we were able to create some things anytime that happens.
4 plays later, we do get the turnover.
It was a down and out pattern, and I think the defensive back stepped in front and came back and made a fine interception.
4 plays into this possession, Terrence Levy picks up 4 down to the 13, and then Francisco Villagrano comes in with the field goal.
We knew we had to get that field goal to get them within 2 scores, so it was important for us to score from this aspect.
That, of course, put us up to the tune of 12-0 at that juncture. We kick off to Alabama State. They keep it for 7 plays, return it to us on our next possession. 5 plays in, Terrence Levy to Drayton Bridges for 62 big ones.
Well, he started to scramble around, and all of a sudden, Bridges broke containment, and it was a great completion.
Jeremy Williams comes back after the completion and picks up 6 yards to take it down to the state 18.
Well, we kind of got him strung out now. Both is going, our running game and our kick are starting to click, so it helped us out a great deal as far as trying to run the football.
Very next play, Kentrell Plain picks up 14.
Well, it was a reverse that we pulled off that I've been working on for the last couple of weeks.
4 plays later, Al Trevion Joubert for 9 yards and the TD.
Well, Al, it's good to see him get his confidence back here. We knew once he gets his hands on it, he's a fine athlete, so he made a great catch and ran it in for his first reception and touchdown of the season.
Tack on the PAT, and we're up 19-0 and resume action. ASU's ensuing possession. Alf McKibbins returns it 29 yards to Alabama State's 34.
Well, they got a fine return team, and this individual did a great job, and all of a sudden they look up and they're back in great field position as a result of that return.
2 plays into this drive, Darnell Kennedy has the fumble forced, and again, we nearly come up with the T-over.
Well, it came down with the option. I think the defensive end did a fine job of forcing him to pitch it early, and he pitched it on the ground.
4 plays later, defense holds. They have to give up the football.
Well, we did the punt return. I think Landry is doing a fine job, and the blocking is there, and anytime he gets an opening, he's going to make things happen, and he gets his great field position. 2
plays into this drive, Terrence Levy takes it up 4 yards on the ground.
Well, our quarterback has to run the football in that misdirection, and we're doing a fine job with that aspect of the game.
2 plays later, after a holding penalty, Lionel Joseph picks up the dime.
Well, it was a play fake, and drew the linebackers in, and he ran a slant pattern over the middle, and he was able to hit him.
Unfortunately, the very next play, pick.
Well, it was a down and out, and I think he made a mistake in the pass coverage, and the defensive back did a fine job of stepping in front of him.
However, defense rises to the occasion. Robert Chapman forces the fumble. Kentrell Blotcher, Johnny on the spot.
Well, the defense knew they had to pick it up to another level in that second half because we're going against a good football team.
That ended the 3rd quarter with us up 19-0. First possession, Terrence Levy finds Al Trevion for 20 yards.
Well, we've been trying to hit that pass down the middle for the past couple of weeks, and Al did a fine job of getting over top of the defensive back.
Very next play, Alfred Ard for 17.
Well, it was a screen on the left side. Ard did a fine job of running once he was able to get his hands on the football.
And, of course, Jeremy Williams caps off the drive with the TD.
Well, there's that running game again. Anytime you can run the ball successfully, it's going to increase your chance of winning the football game.
The point after was no good, and that put us up at that point 25-0. We move now to 2 possessions later. Darnell Kennedy is going to be picked off by Lenny Williams, and the crowd just goes crazy, Coach.
Well, it was a down and out pattern, and all of a sudden that they started to scramble around, and he looked up, and Lenny did a great job on covering the excellent wide receiver, and he put it up and he stepped in front of him, he took it from him, and he's off to the races.
Kind of seems like the defense is starting to take things into their own hands, Coach.
Well, because of last year, especially the experience we received on defense, I can see some of those young kids with a lot more confidence, and it seemed like it's a carryover to this year's football team.
32-7 was the final. Of course, Alabama State picked up a garbage TD at the end, but really not indicative of the score. Complete dominance by the Southern Jaguars in this game. When we come back, we've got even more of the Coach Pete Richardson Show. Stay with us.
Imagine a place that understands you'd rather be doing anything on Saturday other than fixing your faucet. A place that knows you can't spend half the weekend shopping for your weekend projects. True Value. For the jobs you do most and look forward to least. Because the sooner you get done, the sooner you can get back to this thing called your life. True Value.
Acadian True Value, serving Baton Rouge for over 25 years. Visit one of our 2 convenient locations.
When you get a few tickets or accidents, some insurance companies don't want you. With an Allstate agent, you can still get a second chance.
For a second chance on your auto insurance, see Agnes Andrews at 1200 South Acadian Thruway, Suite 217. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Here at Duplessis Volvo, we think safety every day, and that will never change.
That's right, Ron. With summer ending, we're also thinking savings.
During the summer sell down, all 2001 models are priced to go at a low 3.9.
Like the S40 will change your mind about how affordable a European sedan can be. Own this S40 priced over $26,000 for only $21,777.
Remember, Volvo for life at Duplessis Volvo.
And Cal Ripken joins the 3,000 hit club.
Run number 400 for Cal Ripken. Rounds third as Dan waves him home.
A new consecutive game record.
Baseball's new iron.
Dad? Dad? Ready to go?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Coach Pete Richardson Show. Again, we come to you from our new location this year, De London's Restaurant, 4748 Airline Highway. That, of course, is the old Crawfish City. Of course, we start this segment talking about our top choice player of the week. Offensively, got a good idea who you're going to give the award to this week.
I think Jeremy Williams had a fine football game. Anytime you get over 100 yards as a running back, the offensive line is starting to block, but the no more you see the confidence in Jeremy. And I think the more he runs the ball, the better football player he's going to become.
How much did it help Jeremy to have a dry field as far as his footing was concerned this week?
I think it means a great deal because of the type of runner that he is as far as trying to make those cuts on a slippery field. Sometimes it hampers an individual and it hurts him a little bit.
As easy as it was to pick the top choice offensive player of the week, it was equally as easy to pick the top choice defensive player of the week.
I think Lenny Williams is having an extraordinary year. Of course, he started all as a freshman last year. He kind of got baptized a little bit. He's a different type of football player this year. He knows he can play. The confidence level is up, and I can see as the season goes on, the more confidence he's going to acquire, the better football player he's going to become.
Each and every week we have our regularly scheduled feature that we affectionately refer to as Around the SWAC. Coach, let's go around the SWAC. Grambling State got a big win this weekend, 30-29 winners over Portland State.
I think that was a big win for our conference. I think Portland State was ranked in the top 25, and they did a fine job. No more than that, to show that they're capable of coming back strong at the end of the football game. I think in the last few minutes of that game, they came back and they were able to pick up and win that football game on the road.
Alabama A&M, no big surprise there, 24-10 winners over Texas Southern.
Well, Alabama A&M was probably one of the preseason picks as far as winning, and so was Texas Southern. They had a fine football team. So, you know, it was a game, it was nip and tuck, but Alabama State did a good job.
McNeese State living up to their reputation, 54-14 winners over Alcorn State.
Well, you look at McNeese, it's probably one of the finest Division I AA schools in the country as far as playing against, and they kind of dominated Alcorn, although Alcorn is showing some improvement in their football team.
Jackson State pounding over Mississippi Valley, 66-36.
Well, Jackson State has a new offensive coordinator, and they're beginning to learn his system, and they're scoring touchdowns. Anytime you can do that and pick up that many points. So, of course, I saw Mississippi Valley on film, and it looked like they're an improved football team also.
And, of course, to round out the SWAC, Texas A&M Kingsville over Prairie View, 21-14.
Well, I think Prairie View is starting to make some inroads there. They need some more help as far as scholarship, but I can see Dorothy improving their football team as the season goes.
One thing that we need to take a little time to mention also, it's been a lot ballied about the loss of receivers so far for the receiving corps. Drayton Bridges seems like he's a new target for Terrence Levy.
Well, Drayton is an exciting receiver, about 6'1", probably about 185 pounds. The only thing Drayton needs is an opportunity to play. You know, he has fine skills, has great speed, and I think the more he gets an opportunity to get out there, you're going to see a different receiver.
Well, when we come back, we will take a look ahead to this week's matchup against the Green Wave. Stay with us.
Hey Louisiana, this is Bob Eubanks. Here's a list of just some of the Powerball Game Show all-cash winners from your area. And you can be a winner too, but it all starts with this.
The Powerball Game Show $2 scratch-off. You may win up to $20,000 instantly or a chance to win $1 million on our show in Hollywood. Or win thousands of dollars sitting at home watching Powerball the Game Show. Buy your Powerball the Game Show scratch-off tickets today.
And I'll look for you in Hollywood.
Maxicated Furniture is having the biggest sale ever. During the sale, when you purchase that 2, 3, 4-piece living room set, Maxicated Furniture is going to give you a coffee table set free. Everybody needs a coffee table set with their living room set, so now is definitely the time to purchase that brand new living room set or take advantage of specials throughout the whole store on bedroom sets, dinettes, appliances, and TVs, and much, much more. And with same-day delivery and the guaranteed fastest credit approval, Maxicated Furniture is your store for all your furniture and appliance needs. Call the credit hotline at 356-5591.
Wouldn't you love a sunroof in your car? How about a simulated convertible top or rich supple leather seats? Maybe a television entertainment system for those road trips. Tops Unlimited is the only name to know for automotive aftermarket accessories. Custom grills, ground effects and rear spoilers, wood grain dash kits, convertible top replacement, and more. It's all available at Tops Unlimited, serving Baton Rouge for over 18 years. Located at 11311 Cedar Park Avenue off Segan Lane. Our business is Tops.
Welcome back to the Coach Pete Richardson Show. We again come to you from De London's restaurant, 4748 Airline Highway. That, of course, is the old Coffee City location. Coach, as we went to break in the last segment, we mentioned the fact that in this segment we'll be talking about the upcoming contest against the Tulane Green Wave. It's the first, Southern and Tulane. Obviously, you got to be looking forward to this one.
Well, I think that the players have been looking forward ever since they scheduled the game about a year ago. So, you know, we're excited about having the opportunity to play against a D1 school. Our players are looking forward to it. We have a lot of players from the New Orleans area that played against some of those individuals on Tulane's football team. So it'll be a big challenge for our football team going down to New Orleans.
From a coaching standpoint, would you rather play a Tulane, or would you feel a little more comfortable, say, playing a traditional SWAC foe like Alcorn at home?
Well, I think you have to look at the aspect of what we're trying to accomplish in that football game. We had to go into a situation where we can enhance our budget. I think playing down in New Orleans, we play well down there, and we had to get a game down there, so you couldn't find a finer team than the home team of Tulane to play down in New Orleans.
How does it affect the morale of the team, and as far as recruiting, to be able to say that you will get the opportunity to play against a Division I school? Well,
anytime you play against a D1 school, you know, especially down in New Orleans in the Dome, I think our players are excited about playing that. A lot of players on our level don't get an opportunity to play, especially on television and playing in front of a packed house. So you have to get excited and playing against a fine football team.
You know, I posed the question a few seconds ago if you would rather be playing a team like Alcorn at home, but in reality, it's almost like a home game for us.
Yeah, our players like to play in the Dome. You know, we have a lot of players from the New Orleans area, and when we go down to New Orleans and play, it's almost like our second home. So it's really not a great bit of difference between the two places where we play at.
Knowing the Jaguar Nation like we do, and with it being so close to Baton Rouge, what kind of a turnout are you looking for?
Well, I'm expecting a big turnout, especially with the record that they have this year, and the fans understand that we're improving as a football team. Now we got to see exactly what type of football team we have. My only concern is that the players don't get too emotional going against a D1 school and make a lot of mistakes early and get us out of the game.
Other than their quarterback, Patrick Ramsey, any greenies that we really need to be on the lookout for?
Well, I think when you look at Tulane, they're going to throw the football. I think Ramsey does a fine job at it. He almost threw the ball about 200 times for about 1,300 yards. Their average is about 28 points a game and over about 430 yards of total offense. But if you're going to throw it, you have to have somebody to catch it. And I think they have two fine receivers. Harris and Williams does a great job of catching the ball. Not only that, they do a fine job of running once they get their hands on the football, which causes your defensive secondary some problems.
All right, there you have it, Jaguar Nation. We need to see you in the Dome now more than ever. Stay with us. There's still more of the Pete Richardson Show to come.
Here at Duplessis Volvo, we think safety every day, and that will never change.
That's right, Ron. With summer ending, we're also thinking savings.
During the summer sell down, all 2001 models are priced to go at a low 3.9.
Like the S40 will change your mind about how affordable a European sedan can be. Own this S40 priced over $26,000 for only $21,777.
Remember, Volvo for life at Duplessis Volvo.
Imagine a place that understands you'd rather be doing anything on Saturday other than fixing your faucet. A place that knows you can't spend half the weekend shopping for your weekend projects. True Value. For the jobs you do most and look forward to least. Because the sooner you get done, the sooner you can get back to this thing called your life. True Value.
Acadian True Value, serving Baton Rouge for over 25 years. Visit one of our 2 convenient locations.
Joins the 3,000 hit club.
Run number 400 for Cal Ripken. Rounds third is Dan. Waves him home.
New consecutive game record. Baseball still iron.
Dad? Dad? Ready to go?
Yeah.
People who don't have an Allstate agent, who do they turn to?
In Baton Rouge, see Agnes Andrews at 1200 South Acadian Thruway, Suite 217. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Coach Pete Richardson Show. Again, we come to you from our new location, De London's Restaurant, 4748 Airline Highway. That is the old Crawfish City. Coach, as we get ready to wrap up this week's show, we need to turn our attention to injuries. How did we come out of this past weekend's Gulf Coast Classic?
We lost our defensive end, Dorsey, with an ankle injury, but besides that, we had some bumps and bruises. Most of those individuals should be able to go, and with the adrenaline and playing down in the dome, I'm quite sure they'll be ready.
Got to be pretty pleased with Jeremy Williams' performance. In the preseason show, you said that if, in fact, we were going to entertain any thoughts of a SWAC championship, we had to have a solid running game. Little suspect, basically because of field conditions up to this point, but the first time we get a dry, fast track, we come out with a 100-plus yard rusher.
We had to understand that we have to run the football and we win the championship. I think we go into the game trying to establish that running game. If you can do that, it opens up the passing game. And of course, Jeremy is getting that confidence with that offensive line. If we can move people around, then we can take some pressure off of Terrence Levy.
Going up against a Division I team this week, got to have some special teams to help out the offense and the defense.
Well, our special teams is concerned. We've been inconsistent at times. We knew we had some problems as far as our punting game, but it was holding up quite well. But our return game, I think Landry is doing a fine job of getting that hitting yardage for us and getting us good field position.
Well, at last report, there were still plenty of tickets available, so we, of course, will be looking to see you, the Jaguar Nation, in the New Orleans Superdome for this week's game. For our entire production crew, the coach, Pete Richardson, I'm Clarence Buggs. We will see you, same time, same station, next week with more of the Pete Richardson Show.